Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at DOT. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, jumping into the daily chart on TradingView. So obviously, we are in the very apex of our falling wedge here. If you have been watching my previous Polkadot updates, then you would know that we've been in this falling wedge since November 2021. We had the first touch here in July. This is where the wedge was created up here when we printed the new all-time high, and since then we've been up and down, and right now we're very tight in this apex of this falling wedge, and there is a 75% chance that we're going to see a break to the upside. However, if there is a very strong capitulation, if we see more bearish news from the Fed and whatever, right? Bitcoin crashes, stock market crashes, we're going to see Polkadot move down from here, right? And we might see another retest of potentially $4.50 based on our little Fibonacci retracement. Now, the blue support block that we're in right now is based off of the high that we printed in August of 2020 and the October 2020 low. So really, we haven't retested these areas after we broke out here in January of 2021. And right now, we're coming back down into this zone, and hopefully we're going to hold this as support for the next couple of months until we figure out what we want to do next, and then we start climbing up because obviously we want to go up. So I think my theory still holds strong. The fact that we're going to see higher highs for Bitcoin starting with spring. Obviously, that's just a theory based off of what I think is going to be happening with the economic sector and with the energy sector in 2023. And obviously, in 6 months, crypto can take even a stronger dip and we may go back to $8,000, $7,000. I don't think that's very likely because we would need some real bearish news for that to happen. And I don't know what else except, I don't know, World War III, right? There's literally everything that could have happened already happened except World War III. So I don't think there is a whole lot of bearish news left. I think this is our last sort of leap that we need to survive here, or this last sort of stagnant stage of the bear market. And I think by March, April, May 2023, we're going to see a recovery. Obviously, before that, we may see one last dip like we always do in April or May. We may see a dip from there, but that's going to be our sort of a low that we might, our last buying opportunity. But that low might not necessarily come as a lower low. You know what I'm saying? We could be moving up into spring, have that correction in April, but that still would be a higher low. So in fact, we would be in an uptrend already. And from there, we continue on towards 2024, where we see our bull market. However, crypto has never been in such a recession. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. And for now, these two support areas, or this support block based off of these two points of contact, this is the best area for you to be accumulating Polkadot because it's based off of pretty strong support and resistance levels. And obviously, it is possible that we may go down lower below that. And at that point, we don't really have any data here. So we could really just go off based off of, the Fibonacci retracement that I have. And that's with the swing high in November 2021 and the swing low in July 2021. Our second fib level is all the way down here at $1.96. And our 1.618 Fibonacci based off of this fib, if I can just remove the support block and the smaller fib just so it's a bit more clear, our 1.618 here is sitting at $3.71. So in fact, this is our technical target for now. This is where we could see the bottom, and this in fact really lines up perfectly with the low that we printed in October of 2020. So this lines up perfectly with our support block that we just had on the chart. And what we're doing right now is we're actually holding the 1.414 as support at $5.21. So I think if we're going to fail to break out here, we're going to see a major rejection off of the pink trend line. We obviously can get sent all the way back down here with more selling pressure coming from Bitcoin. Obviously, altcoins are going to bleed. And yeah, if you want to have your buy order set up in advance, that's going to be really smart, because you might have that, quick capitulation event when you have the large wick to the downside, a fast recovery, and you're already in profit. That could be a nice swing trade opportunity, or short-term, mid-term swing trade for you, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that's regarding the daily chart for Polkadot and what we're looking at, sort of the midterm. If we take a look at our major targets based off of this Fibonacci retracement, then I would just take a look at the golden ratio here. Obviously, the golden ratio is one of the most important, actually it is the most important Fibonacci level for us to break. So $19.63. And then you have the 786 at $14.83. And we have the $10.37, which is the low that we printed back in July. And that's a major resistance level that we sort of retested here back in May, but we can come back for another major retest sometime down the line, and then have that move back down and potentially retest the 1.272 to assert that we're above this low here that we're going to print, and we are continuing in an uptrend, right? We're not printing a lower low. So that's really important. But you just have to pay attention to what's going on with the Fed, what the media is telling you, because if they're going to be pushing this bearish narrative more and more and more, then at some point, they're not going to be telling you the truth, right? They're not going to tell you, well, you can buy right now because in 2 weeks we're going to pump the markets. They're not going to do that. So that's why you have to be ahead of them, and you have to think, unlike everyone else. You don't have to go along with the herd, because everyone's going to be selling once we see the next capitulation. And let me tell you something, I'm not going to be selling once we see Polkadot at $3. In fact, I am going to be buying as many coins as I can. So that the next time we are in a bull market and we're printing new all-time highs, I'm seeing pretty good profits for my patience. That's what I'll be doing. And let's switch over to the daily RSI. So as you can see, we're holding the pink trend line for now. As you can see, we had a nice retest November 9th, and we also had a little fake out here November 20th and 21st. This is what I'm talking about. And then we had a very quick move to the upside. So still, this was a good entry for Polkadot. Even right now, Polkadot is very, very cheap. I would say this is one of the best opportunities you have to enter Polkadot, even though there is still a chance that we might see, let's say another, another 36% pullback, right? If we get down to 30 or to $3, $3.50, right? It's still a good opportunity to invest, because even if you buy a bit here at $5, because you don't know if we're going to go down to 3.5. You buy here, your average is at $4 roughly. And then once you're at $40, you're basically a 10x, right? And that's with a top altcoin. This is with a high cap altcoin like Polkadot. Imagine what you can do with some, lower cap projects who aren't necessarily, nobodies, but good lower cap projects. And I'm not talking about these degenerate low cap gems that no one's seen and the team is basically a bunch of NFT photos on their website. No, I'm talking about a legit project that is building, for example, Moonriver, for example, Cody. I'm investing in those projects right now because I think they're going to be doing very well during the next bull market. And if we see a relief rally and we see the daily RSI do something crazy along, let's say something like this, right? Where we see something like this happen, when you go from the oversold all the way up to the overbought in a month, right? If something like that happens, then that's going to be a really good time for us to swing trade and make some extra money on the side. But always be careful with that, because swing trading near the bottom of the bear market is very, very dangerous. And that's all I have for you folks here. If I missed out anything important, please let me know down below in the comment section. But for now, I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we have a Polkadot update, we're going to be seeing a very strong move to the upside. However, if we fail to break out, right, something's got to give. If we fail to break out, there's going to be a move to the downside, right? We might start printing even more lower lows for Polkadot, and that's good for the, for us if we want to buy right now. But I'm just hoping we don't go so low that it's going to take, multiple years for us to recover. Right, because I'm really hoping that we can get back to the bull market once we get to the Bitcoin halving in 2024. But let's see what happens. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Feel free to check out my Patreon. and feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.